Welcome to the Purpose Chasers podcast, where adversity meets ambition and setbacks become setups for something greater. I'm your host, Mark Crandall. After walking away from a $5.1 million construction sale, enduring loss, betrayal, a season of darkness, and a pile of financial devastation, I came back to the one thing I can't shake, helping people live on purpose. This podcast isn't about chasing dollars, it's about chasing calling. Every week, we shine light on creators, entrepreneurs, and artists who refuse to quit. People who kept moving forward when life told them to sit down. If you've ever been knocked down, counted out, or told no, you're in the right place. Because here, we turn pain into power and purpose into impact. Let's dive into this week's episode. Welcome back to this episode with a dear friend of mine, Dr. Carolyn Colleen. She is I've gotten to share the stage with her. I have seen her grind and hustle for years and years and years and years now. And she is coming on the Scale to Sale podcast as a client now and a friend. And I'm very, very excited to dive into actual tactical, how to make money, how to get booked, and all of the things that you have become an expert at. For those of you listening, Carolyn is the founder of the Fierce Network. She is the founder of the Fierce Foundation, which is a nonprofit that serves women that are looking to make a real start at change. We've recorded an episode over on Purpose Chasers, so if you want to go listen to it, you can go listen to the full breakdown of what Carolyn's up to and all of her heart mission work around youth. Carolyn has released a course that I have helped her get off the ground. She had it all, but we have gotten it released. Unleash Your Inner Speaker. There's a number of things that have released off of what you're doing, including your blog and activating your YouTube channel. Carolyn, it's like I'm just so full of gratitude to have, my only two clients right now, and I'm so grateful for it. I'm so humble and grateful, are you and Produced by Neff. And I have two absolute workhorses that have more content that they've recorded than they know what to do with. Carolyn, welcome on Scale to Sale podcast. It is so good to have you.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
I guess what I want to dive into first, and there's been a number of heavy hitters that have come on the Scale to Sale podcast to talk about marketing and all of those things. But I have not had anyone talk on who is an expert at speaking and an expert at getting booked on stages and an expert at getting TEDx talks and an expert at getting her own actual, ABC and NBC news coverage. When you see the banner on Carolyn's website, which is not on there yet, but it's coming this week, of all of the places that she's been featured on, it's actually real. And those are, she didn't just do a press release and get somebody to put a blog out saying she did something. She actually has video interviews from these places. Carolyn, can you talk a little bit about some of the tactical strategies that you implemented to get on all the stages that you did to get to the amount of money that you're getting paid to speak?
Yeah. It started out not glamorous, and it takes a whole lot of grit and a lot of grace for yourself. Starting out speaking, you take the stages you can get, and I had to practice creating my speech and practice it over and over and over and over in the mirror with my cell phone, recording myself over and over. And actually, you were there. Some of the places, like I'd saw you recording. I'm like, how's this, right? And it's the things that you don't see. It's the tireless nights, and then a lot of it is just truly through grace. Some of the things that I really had to work through when I was creating my speeches, and then being able to course correct. So as I'm curating and getting into these rooms, being able to say, okay, I need
the first aspect. I'm going to dial you back because I just want to say for those of you listening. So it's the first aspect of getting booked on stages is what I'm getting from what you're saying is you have to have a talk, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. You
All
got to
right.
have
So
a
that's
talk.
what you're saying. You have to have a talk to get booked. I had to learn that also.
You have to have a talk and you have
What do you speak on? Well, I can speak on anything. Oh, okay.
no. Mm-mm, mm-mm. No, we got to narrow it down. It's true. You have to have a talk. You need to have a coach. You need to be able to have somewhere to start from. And for me, it was a game changer to be able to have a coach and be able to, what I've put into my coursework is those tips and tricks that a lot of people will put out and like give you a little teaser, but not actually give you the true content of what you need to be after. And for me, it was a lot of learning. I spent quite a bit of time and resources trying to figure out exactly what I needed to figure out. And that's what I put inside my course is the actual step-by-step what to do, not some elusive, elusive something that you can never achieve. I broke it down to very simple steps. And yes, you need to have a speech. You need to have.
I got a speech. I got a speech now. I've been practicing it in the mirror. I think it's good. I know a little bit about copywriting, let's say. So I've got this up into like maybe some bullet points. Now I got it in a Google Doc. Maybe it looks okay. And I got my graphic designer to put something on it. What do I do with this thing now? How do I actually, because my inbox is, I'm peppered with people, especially now that people know that I'm working with you and Jonas and there's 4 podcasts and 4 YouTubes between us. It's just my inbox is full of people trying to steal my audience. So like, how do you actually get to a place of networking to getting paid once you have your speech?
All right, you got your speech, you got it nailed in, you got to practice, it's solid. Then you want to be able to get paid. So what you need to do is you need to get on stages. You need to have evidence that you've actually spoken about your talk. So then you start looking, all right, what's your speech about? What might be the target audience? Is it businesses, organizations? Is it schools? Is it students? Is it HR areas? Is it conferences? So then you need to be able to think about what is the target audience and who's that ideal audience that you want to speak to. Then you want to try and get in the door. So with that, let's say it's colleges is where your target audience is, and this topic would be where you want to be. Then you need to start reaching out to those different organizations within the colleges in order to get some footage, get some headway, get some feedback. Then within that, you're able to start taking that feedback and a little bit of that footage, and you're able to tap into larger conferences and larger college audiences in order to get paid. So these clubs within colleges, they have funds in which they bring speakers. Then you can reach out to these clubs, say, hey, this is a topic I'd really love to share, show up, get paid. And then each time you get a paid gig, per se, you increase your fee. Then you're able to get in even more stages.
And something you're a master at that I want, and that, I rant and rave about the testimonial waterfall system. I mean, you know me, I'm obnoxious with it. But I didn't even have to ask you for testimonials. I just had to ask you where the hell they were. And when I found them, there was, I must have gone through at least 45 testimonials from you already. And one of the things that Carolyn has implemented that we're going to dive into that she is really, really, really skilled at is social proof. It's like once you've done the thing, make sure that people know that you did the thing and then show them you doing the thing. And you've become an expert at that. Can you talk about once you've done a talk, collecting the evidence that you actually know how to talk, and then how you've gotten so skilled at putting that before others to leverage? I've just watched you do a talk, leverage it, get more talks, leverage them, get more talks, leverage them. And you've really built a career. Not you really have. You've not only built a career off speaking, now you're working to build other women's careers as they're looking to speak. Go ahead.
Yes. And yes, that it's beautiful in that it's a business. So when you come into looking at being a speaker and then looking at also at the systems, it's a business. So for example, when you sell a product, that's your stage. Then you want to get feedback and you want to get testimonials. You want to make sure that you do that immediately. So then you get onto a stage, you collect that feedback, you get testimonials right away, either in video and or written, and then you grab those up, you get permission to be able to post for those things, and then you talk about it and help have others then talk about it as well. Then within that, you're able then to also be in places where you're able to have that social proof, such as news media. Talk all about the speech that you have coming up. Let's say you're traveling. Let's say you live in Minnesota, but you're traveling to New York. Let the local news stations know that you're in town and have a press release so that they know you're in town, and there's other organizations that you can speak to while you're there so that you maximize on your time, gather the proof, record it, either audio, video, or both, along with photos, and then post about it. Let people know, and then also have those people that you have spoken on their stage, have them share their feedback and share how awesome that experience was. You also need to make the experience awesome. And you also need to ask for the testimonial.
It's so foreign. It is so foreign. And I just, I'm so grateful for you and all the learning and teaching that we've had fed into us to get to a place of like the most important aspect of this game that we can collect is social proof and is a testimonial. And from the testimonials, you can teach customers to sell for you. And it's a really, really, really fun game. Carolyn, you get booked to speak, you crush the talk, you're now collecting testimonials, you're using that as social proof. What tactics or strategies would you give an individual to ensure that they're not wasting time and energy now?
Wasting time and energy on
the wrong avenues, right? So I'll give you one example. I'm going to give you an example. So, right. So I'm doing work with a band and I just went up to do, you know, this, like this just happened. This is hot off the press. It is very an uncomfortable lane to ask for an individual to go outside of themselves to ask for a testimonial, right? Especially if you have the testimonial waterfall in your access and or 3 questions. Why did you hire me? Why did you wait so long? What was the pain and suffering of waiting like? And what would you tell somebody who is in that waiting place right now to get them to move the needle to work with me? You ask people those 3 questions, they're selling your stuff all day. And so I go up to work with this band and I have been trying, you know, like Neff knows, I've been trying to get a band to let me interview a venue while they're there playing. And I mean, I got the ultimate home run. I'm at Soundcheck Studios in Pembroke, Massachusetts, one-time weekends headlining. I sent an email. It was not a canned email. It was very personalized. Personalized emails, like you don't want to be sending 100 places canned emails. You will quickly catch a reputation, I'm telling you. You want personalized emails. If you're only sending 3 personalized a day, then that's better than most, right? So I sent him a personalized email. I got a 5-minute, yes, I'd love to. So I have to share this because it's so powerful. I'm like, is it going to happen? Is it going to happen? I walk in, I get a 15-year-old cleared as my, my assistant to help me with this. We go in, we get all access passes. I know it's real. He comes and grabs me, meets me, says, hey, where do you want to do this? I said, I'd love to see a place that no one gets to go. He knows I'm talking about the studio. So he brings me in the studio and I ask him to share his story, which people love to do, around how it came to start. Once he was done, I said, can you share the story of how One Time Weekend came to headline your stage? Why they're on your stage, and can you talk about what separates them from other bands as far as professionalism? And I mean, I'm about to drop a blog for One Time Weekend this week that is not done in the music industry. And it's also not done that often in speaking And I believe the aspect of you collecting social proof is what has made you, when I came on to you, you're like, when you came on as a client, you said to me, Mark, I don't need more talks. Like, I have more talks than I know what to do with, paid talks than I know what to do with on the calendar right now. So can you talk a little bit about how that social proof has escalated or accelerated your speaking career, and how you have put that, because I've gone through it, guys. Like, I'm giving you insider information. I put all the course information in there, how you've put all of that. You didn't hide anything from individuals that are looking to build a business off of a speaking career. Can you talk about how the social proof catapulted your career, and how you believe it'll catapult the mentees that are coming into the Unleash Your Inner Speaker program?
Yes. And just like when I share in my course, just like you're saying, authenticity. Like, when you show up as a speaker, you're showing up and you're giving it your all. You're not, the high maintenance, like, oh, get me tea, get me all the, it's like, how can I help? How can I serve? How can I be there so that your event is impactful, and it will be what you're hoping for. How do we hit it out of the park? And that's actually a question that I weave in when I'm meeting with people for speaking, is what does home run look like to you, and how do we make it happen together? And so with that social proof, it's, hey, they authentically we really hit it out of the park together. And they're like, yeah, I'm going to share this everywhere. Let's take some photos together. Let's grab some video. Oh, you need a video testimonial? Yeah, let me do that right now. Oh, and by the way, I have it for you. Here's a mic and here's a cell phone. You want to go and, take care of that right now? Great. Make it easy as possible. If you want a testimonial, help them understand what you're looking for, so that you make it very simple. They can do it in less than 60 seconds. It's not a heavy lift for them. And then they're providing you the social proof that you need, because they really want to give it to you, because you have helped their event be extremely successful. How, as a speaker, do you help the event coordinator look good? That is your job. So then, therefore, they are happy to support you.
And I'm gonna throw a tip out that it worked for me. I'm not currently speaking. That's probably gonna escalate again. Collabing with Carolyn here, but a tip that worked really, really well with me. And I still have 2 relationships that I've maintained from the 4 paid talks that I did do. Those 2 relationships, I guarantee you, if I sent those 2 women email, that I've maintained friendships with, meaning I still connect with them, follow up, anything I can do for you, anything going on. They know I'm not speaking, but if they wanted to come on the podcast and highlight something, they know that we've built that relationship. When you got that going, like, really cool stuff will happen for you. You experienced that, Carolyn?
Yes. It's when you build those, it's about relationship building, like you said. And when you build those relationships, it might show up that it's speaking that they want you to come back. Maybe they want you to come back and do a workshop. Maybe they want you to come facilitate something. Perhaps they want you to create a course for them. And so as you build that relationship and get to know what some of their needs are, or some of their pain points, you're able then to say, oh, you know what? I have that too.
I could listen to you all day long, but you're just nailing gold. That's flooring me. So if you're hearing me pause listening, it's because this stuff's landing on me as well. I need to hear this. One of the things that I've been really, and for those of you who don't know me, I practiced therapy for 10 years. I have a master's in social work, and at one time held 2 licenses. I'm a nerd. I love human psychology. I really, really do. And one of the things that I'm really, really researching right now is the building of community, and inside of music specifically. In one of the aspects of building community that I have seen, a fabric that is through every successful group that has a large fan base, is this. And I want to ask you this question, what it looks like for you after talks. When the show is over and you've melted faces, or the talk is done and you got the standing ovation, what are you doing? Where are you? And you taught me this, and Anthony Trucks taught me this also, he said, you are there for one reason and one reason only. And that is lead generation, my friend. That's what Anthony said to me. Your talk is to generate leads. And the follow-up of the funnel, the automations, and all the things that you have going is how you ensure that you capture that audience and collect them. And what has your experience been like? Because I'm not a fan of bands that mount faces and leave stage and don't give a set list out, don't shake the front row's hands. And actually, a couple of my favorite bands got off stage, went backstage immediately, maybe got a drink and peed, came out into the audience and were in the crowd, talking, networking, and then went to their merch table and usually did real well at the merch table because they got handshakes, and now people are even more excited. Can you talk about your experience after the fact and what lessons you've learned?
Yes, that's so important. And yes, this is definitely like a rookie mistake when you're like, you come in, you speak, you're gone, right? And with that, I would say the amount of relationships that you're able to build once you come off stage. Now, mind you, once you get off stage, I will take 5 minutes and I will breathe. I will shed and I will refocus, because you need that as your inner core is kind of calibrating, right? And then you have a deep breath, you're able to refocus and reset, and then you're able to serve. You're able to go out and you're able to then help people who have connected with your message, in which to be able to create that relationship, to be able to have them subscribe to more. How might I continue to help bring light to the world? Well, you got to show up and you need to follow up. And so, yes, after and before, you have that opportunity to be able to make those connections and provide insight, access, and community.
And how hard is it to actually go and mean it? Hey, I really appreciate that feedback. Like, I really, really appreciated that and needed that lift. Like, thank you. That means a lot to me. You say that to people like with a genuine humility, you're going to build community. If you leave the stage like you're a rock star, egotistical, you're not going to build a community. Maybe you're going to have success somewhere because you made a relationship or whatever. But if you're looking to build community, you need to stay around after, because that's where your community is built. Carolyn, is there anything in closing that you would like to say to anyone looking to learn how to speak and or get booked to speak?
Mm-hmm.
Outside of go get your course? I mean, that's an obvious.
It's more so really getting intimate with what is your motivation, because the harder part, can you create a speech? Of course, you can. The harder part is getting the feedback and then actually getting booked. So those two pieces are the pieces that I would say, what are you after? If you're seeking to create more income, you're seeking to create impact, then yes, this is the right place to be. Reach out. I'll give you the exact way to do it and monetize, and not with fluff. I'm not saying tomorrow you go from 0 and tomorrow you're going to go to a $20,000 speech. No, I'll tell it to you straight. And so you have to put the work in and give you a clear pathway to be able to do so.
I end this episode with a little story. And that story goes like this. Mark could not get booked to speak. Mark did not have any video of him speaking. And no one would book Mark because he didn't have any video. But Mark couldn't get booked, so he couldn't get video. It was like this Dr. Seuss conundrum that I was in. And I was doing a deprivation tank, a float. I was at a float spa, and I was like an hour and a half into this float. And it hit me. Like, it's so dumb, but it was Field of Dreams. If you build it, they will come. That quote hit me in this float. And I went, oh my God, I'm going to lock a venue. I'm going to sell tickets. I'm going to get a videographer and I'm going to get my video. And that event was called Shattering the Stigma. And we sold 180 tickets to that event. And the money went to the nonprofit. My videographer was covered through that event. I got highlight reels and I got a $5,000 paid talk immediately following that. So not immediately following. There's a lot of work, a lot of work. It takes work to build relationships. You're a liability to an event planner until they fully know that you're not going to make them look like a butthead on stage. That is their only thing. And with that said, if you think about this interview that I just got with this man from Soundcheck Studios, I made him look like a hero. And that was my goal, because I want to show other venues that I'm going to make them look like heroes too, so that they're willing to give me that time, so that they know that it's worth it for them. Carolyn, thank you so much for coming on Scale to Sale. I'm so grateful to be a part of your journey.
Thank you. I'm just so honored to be on this journey with you, and how long we have been good friends and on this journey to be able to make impact. It's truly a blessing. Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in to the Purpose Chasers podcast. If today's episode hit home, don't just listen, engage. Follow me on Spotify, drop a review, and join the conversation over on YouTube at The Purpose Chasers, or on Instagram at Organic Nerd Word. This is more than a podcast, it's a movement. And if you're here, you're already part of it. Remember, no amount of darkness can keep someone who's been called. So keep chasing, keep building, and keep standing in your purpose. I'm Mark Crandall, signing off until next time. Let's get it.